Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been, well, it hasn't been a minute, but this is a long overdue video for Lesbian Visibility Week. Lesbian Visibility Day was on the 26th, and then we have a week. I have been participating a lot on my Bookstagram if you want to go check out some of my posts on there. But I didn't have time to make a sit down video until now. So, hello, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite lesbian books or books that have lesbian characters, and just really spread the lesbian love, you know? And then I'm also going to talk about a couple books that feature lesbians that are on my TBR that I hope to read very, very soon. So, let's get started. First up, I have two young adult books that both feature lesbian main characters from dual points of view. So, out of the two main characters in each book, one is a lesbian, and both of them fall into the paranormal horror category. And the first one is The Dead in the Dark by Courtney Gold. I loved this book. This book is a ride. It's about a girl whose two dads are really famous ghost hunters on this TV show, and they go back to a town that her fathers hope to leave behind forever, because there's a dark, dark secret in this town. And the other character identifies as queer or sapphic, but the main character is indeed a lesbian. And this author is not afraid to say lesbian. That's something that's very important to me as a lesbian. So many authors are afraid to say lesbian or don't want to, so they'll say things like, oh, the character is gay, they only like girls, I'm not interested in guys, but they won't ever actually say the word lesbian, which unfortunately contributes to lesbian erasure, fetishization, all those things. And Courtney Gold is not afraid to say lesbian. I love this book so much, and I cannot wait for her next book. She has another paranormal thriller horror coming out that I'm so excited to read. The second young adult is My Dearest Darkest by Kayla Cottingham. Oh my god. I have raved about this book over my Bookstagram so much. I cannot get over this book. This is one of my top books of the year so far. This is insane. To lay it out for you: dark academia, horror, cryptids, and old gods. Also, sapphic love. We have two main characters, and one of them is an out and proud lesbian. I really enjoyed the way this book discussed some of the differences between lesbianism and bisexuality and how to figure out you're a lesbian or if you're bi. Our two sapphic main characters have that conversation, and it's done in a really healthy, well-written, well-researched way. So many authors who aren't lesbians get the lesbian identity wrong, but Kayla Cottingham does not. I'm not sure if she is a lesbian. I don't know what her sexuality is. I know she's queer. But props to her. She really got it right, and I just went away from this book not only being thrilled by how amazing the plot was. I literally read this in 5 hours. I couldn't put it down. But I also left feeling very represented and seen, and just with such a happy feeling. If you have not read this book yet, it is so underrated. I don't see many people talking about it, and I'm like, why not? It's literally insanely good. I cannot rave about this book enough. And so both of these books are 5 stars for me. I recommend them to everybody. I think everyone should read them. They are some very good examples of lesbian, sapphic, paranormal horror books. Next, we have some adult books, and they are in the fantasy and sci-fi genre. Now, when it comes to fantasy, obviously, it's very difficult to say lesbian, because that kind of language, depending on the world you're writing, typically won't exist. So I understand that, and I'm not mad about that. However, all these characters are confirmed lesbians by the authors outside of the books. So they are indeed lesbians. They are not ambiguous. We know for sure they're lesbians. And the first one is The Unbroken, Terrain from The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. This is also butch representation. There's not a lot of books with good butch lesbian representation. I just finished reading this a couple days ago. Blew my mind. I'm actually going to be doing a video on the Sapphic Trifecta coming soon because I have finally read all three. And by far, no spoilers, but by far, this is my favorite. I need the next book now. And Terrain is just really, really good butch lesbian representation. Not only is she a fantastic character who has to deal with so much, but the lesbian representation. The lesbian representation. I get so much gender envy from Terrain. I just want to be her. Is that possible? Or at least like be her friend. That would be really cool. Anyway, this is a 5 out of 5 stars for me. If you're looking for a fantastic adult fantasy book with lesbians, read this one. And the other main character, I think is bisexual. It's mentioned that she sleeps with guys and girls. So, you know, you have your classic lesbian and bi duo. So all around, fantastic. Next up, we have another book from the Sapphic Trifecta. This is probably a surprise to no one, but that is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha, Suri, sorry. And next up, a surprise to no one, another book in the Sapphic Trifecta, is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha, Suri. Morally gray lesbians, anyone? This is, I would say, my second favorite in the Sapphic Trifecta. I am so hyped for the second book. Both characters are so well developed. Their relationship is so fraught and just will they, won't they, are they good for each other? Like, fantastic lesbian representation. And the author, you need to follow her on Book Talk or Bookstagram, because let me tell, well, Book Talk and Bookstagram, her cats, everyone, her cats are so cute. But yeah, you should definitely read this one. I know it's a little chunky, but it's definitely worth the read. The world building is literally insane. I aspire to write world building as good as Tasha Suri can. Like, I wish. And her characters are just fantastic. If you're looking for something with a lot of politics, backstabbing, like morally gray lesbians with swords and magic and all that kind of stuff, pick this one up. Also 5 out of 5 stars. All the books on this pile are 5 out of 5 stars. And lastly, we have, of course, Gideon the Ninth by Tasmin Mir. Gideon owns my heart. Gideon Nav is my favorite character. Not like my favorite character ever, but like out of a lot of the fantasy books I've read, out of a lot of the lesbian fantasy books I've read, Gideon takes the mother freaking cake. Like, oh my god. Not like insane amount of gender envy. I too would like to be a sword-wielding lesbian with red hair. Please, thank you. Why was I not born like that? I would love to know. This book was insanely confusing. So many emotions. But I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. If you're looking for a really great sci-fi lesbian romp, I mean, I would go for this one. It even says lesbian on the cover. It doesn't say lesbian in the book, but Gideon is a lesbian, and it says lesbian on the cover. So, cannot recommend this one enough. Alright, so, these are just a couple of my favorite lesbian books that I own physical copies of. All of them are fantastic. Cannot recommend them enough. Literally every single book here is a 5 out of 5 stars. If I had to pick favorites, I would pick My Dearest Darkest and The Unbroken. But they're all favorites, so don't make me pick between my babies. That is just rude. Next up, I have 3 books, oh that's 6, 3 books that are on my immediate TBR because I've heard they've got really great lesbian characters in them. Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. Catholic trauma, lesbians, anyone? I don't know if you can see, but I'm raising my hand. I suffer from extreme anxiety, and this book is about a lesbian who accidentally gets a job with the Catholic Church. She has severe anxiety, OCD, and it's all about the shenanigans that go on. This is literary fiction. I don't read a lot of literary fiction, but I'm very excited to read this. Also, I weirdly love this cover. Like, something about it is just so appealing. I'm not sure what it is, but props to whoever designed it. So yeah, hopefully I can read this one soon. It's not very long, so I should be able to get through it in absolutely no time. Yeah. Another one would be Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. You must be living under a rock if you haven't heard of this one. Obviously, Delilah is a lesbian. They made it very obvious, even before the book had come out, that she was a lesbian. There were pre-order campaign stickers that you could get, and hers had the lesbian flag. I did not get the stickers, unfortunately. But, I mean, look how cute. I need to read this. I've heard nothing but good things. And I am feeling kind of in the mood for a sweet romance. I mean, Beltane or Beltane, depending on how you pronounce it, is coming up. And that's a love fire festival, so maybe I should read this to get in the mood for Beltane. In case you were wondering what Beltane/Beltane is, it is one of the 8 Sabbats on the Pagan Wheel of the Year, and it is coming up on May 1st, and I am so excited. I have so many things I'm going to be doing. I'm very excited. So, one of the things that the festival focuses on is fertility and love, so, you know, reading a sweet romance would be perfectly in line with all of that. And the last one, which I literally just found out has a lesbian character in it, is The Once and Future Witches. I knew it had sapphic representation, but I did not know that there were lesbians. Why did no one tell me it was specifically lesbian rep? This book follows 3 sisters during the suffragette era, and one of them is a lesbian. So this is a chunky book. Oh, that was dusty. My girlfriend got this for me for Christmas last year, and I mean, I love the cover, and it's got witches, and I'm a witch, so I need to read it. But yeah, definitely gonna be reading this one soon too. So that was my Lesbian Visibility Week video. I would have made more because Lesbian Visibility Week is one of my favorite weeks out of the year. However, I have just been so insanely busy. I have not had time. But if you're looking for more lesbian activities with books, just head over to my Bookstagram. I have a number of posts on there for Lesbian Visibility Week. And yeah, happy Lesbian Visibility Week to all my lesbians. Sending all my love. We're amazing. We have an amazing community. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.